All right, here we go. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow YouTubian nation. My name is Chris. This is my channel. We love comics. And I am already starting 2024 better than probably almost all of 2023 already, which just goes to show that even when you have bad situations in your life, things can improve. You gotta stay strong. You gotta never give up hope, and things will happen. Now, I haven't gotten any new jobs or anything, but like I said on my last video, if you saw it, I did a DJ job for New Year's Eve, so I was able to acquire a little bit of money, and I was able to buy a couple of comics. I did mention that I have some on the way. I used up the remaining balance of my PayPal credit for a couple of other comics that are on their way, but this is one that I'm really happy to have back. It was a book I had to sell probably, I think, a year ago or so in one of my comic auctions, because basically I needed some bills to be paid, and it was the only copy I had, so it was kind of sad to see it go, but I was actually able to reacquire it. I do not believe it'll be as high a grade as I had, because my original was a 3.5. This one is not graded, so who knows what a pressing and dry cleaning can do, but it's a little bit lower. But I think now is the right time to get it. The opportunity just fell at the right moment, and it just goes to show that when you just really try and stay positive, things will always fall into place. Never let the world seemingly collapsing around you to think your life is over. The way I think of it as, and I'm doing this while I'm waiting for people to come in, think of it like any movie where there was some hero trying to save the day, maybe defusing a bomb, or, you know, trying to save rescue a princess, and they were about to be slaughtered or whatever, and at the very last second they cut the right wire. So life is going to make you feel like the world is crumbling around you and everything's falling in all over you. And the only way it will succeed is if you actually believe it to be true. If you think of your life like a movie where at the very last second, even when it seems like the whole world is crumbling around you, that you will be not only okay, but you'll thrive, you'll be amazed at how different your life will become. So like I said, I haven't gotten a new DJ job or anything like that. Just perfect timing with this. It was 2 or 3 books that I've actually, one I'm doing today, another 2 are coming either later today or tomorrow. Another one will be here on Monday. Well, let me start doing the unboxing, then I'll explain all of that, because you guys know me. I will always talk about the price I paid, the significance of the book, and all that other fun stuff. But as you see scrolling, if you look on the bottom of my AI art, I'd love to hear your opinion of my AI art, so if you want to leave a comment about that, whether you're watching this live or watching it later, it's always appreciated. 6 of you are here, so welcome. 2 of you have already hit the like button, so that's awesome. Thank you to those 2 that were kind enough to do that. But if you see scrolling along, you'll see a couple of books like Amazing Fantasy 15, Batman 2, Wonder Woman 1, etc. I'm looking to try and acquire those books without having to spend money. And how do you do that? Well, there's 2 ways. You could steal them, which I would never do, and I don't recommend anybody do. Or you can do trades, and that's something I want to do, to show people that you can actually acquire something that you might not be able to afford financially by being willing to trade for books. So I did a video about 2 months ago that shows roughly around 30 to 35 books, all graded, so you don't have to guess about the grades, of books that I would be willing to trade for any or all of those books. So if you have an extra, now, All-Star Comics 8, first of all, God bless you if you got multiples, let alone 1. But if you have one of those books and you have an extra copy and you're looking for some of the books that I'm willing to trade, message me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Let me know what books you're looking to acquire, and let's make a deal happen. So let's put on the video camera. And hold on. Give me a second. So it showed a blank screen for a second. Sometimes if you move, there we go. Sometimes if you barely touch the wire, the camera will no longer work. So here's the box. I won this on, I believe, either the 2nd or the 3rd. Well, let's open it and then I'll get into the full details of this. I'm very excited. Box is in great condition. They sent it priority mail, which is appreciated. I asked them if they could put it in a box, so they were kind enough to do that. And, well, let's show it. So this is an interesting one. They put it in a bag and they put all of the packing peanuts inside with it. So that's a first. I don't know if anybody's ever had that before. I've never seen that. But hey, as long as the comic is safe, you know, I don't care how they do it. But that's a first. I've been getting a lot of firsts lately, which, you know, you want that. Keeps life interesting. So let's open this up. Looks like I ordered a thing of, like, some kind of movie popcorn or something. Alright, so they did put it... Trying to do this without having all that spill all over the place. They did put 2 thin pieces of cardboard, but I can honestly say this is well protected. Let's put this back in the box so it doesn't go shooting all over the place. They taped the sides. And as usual, I will do what many channels will not do. I will tell you the price I paid for it, the significance, and a little story behind it to hopefully inspire people to never give up. Because if you guys have seen, you know, the fact that I lost my job back in October and I have no money coming in except for the auction that I did, which I only sold a total of 4 comics, so it didn't go well. I'm still able to survive and thrive. And I've seen many channels, well, they'll show comics to kind of brag about them. I don't do that. I want to try and inspire people to know that if you don't give up, you'll always succeed in the end. Now, this is a book I wasn't looking for. Like, one of the people ask me all the time, what are my secrets to finding books? Because I see people all the time make videos of, these are the books I'm looking for in such and such year. I've seen it every year. They always have a list of books they want. I started that in the beginning, too, when I started my channel back in 2015, 2016, maybe 2017. After that, I stopped searching for books, and just books found me. So this book I was not looking for. It was a newly listed book. It did not have a best offer. It was a listed price with a buy it now. I contacted the person. We went back and forth, and I actually saved over $400 on this book by making a deal happen. So without further ado, very happy to get this book once again in my collection. Brave and the Bold, number 28, which is the first appearance of the Justice League of America. Now, I tell people all the time that smart investors will sell their investments when the prices are high and everybody wants something. That's the time to sell. The time to buy is, like, for example, when the DC movies are pretty much done at this point until they reboot them, and they didn't do well. As a matter of fact, Marvel and DC has not really had major hits in the past year because of certain agendas going on. But that drove the price down and people stayed away from it. Those are the times where you want to buy. Books like this are never going to go to zero. You're never going to get this book unless you find it at a yard sale where no one knows what the book is. You're never going to find this in the dollar bin. Okay? But you can find and make deals. So this is the first appearance of the Justice League of America. They said, and I agree, I mean, of course, I'll have to open it up and everything. They said it's about a 2.0 to a 2.5. Now, this is where I want to help hopefully inspire people. This was a newly listed comic. It had a price of $1,300, buy it now, and that was it. $1,300 for that book is not a bad price. But I really want to try and get the best deals possible, especially since not having a job since October, I can't just throw away money regardless of the situation. As a matter of fact, he has another book that I'm interested in that I would probably have to sell a few of my Bitcoins to acquire, but I think it might be worth it in the long run. Because I don't have a lot of Bitcoins either. But I do have fallbacks. But here's what happened. The person had it listed at $1,300. I messaged them and said, hi, if I made an offer of such and such amount, would you want to do it? And they said, no, I just listed it and da-da-da-da-da. Sent me a price for $900. I'm sorry, for $1,000, which I declined. Did an offer of $900, where they basically said at this point, I'm not going to sell it. I said, I'm just going to see where it goes. So I didn't give an attitude. I didn't try and say anything nasty. I said, I could respect that. Thank you so much for the opportunities. Unfortunately, this is the highest I can go, because with eBay taxes, and he was charging, or she was charging $17 and change for shipping. I was like, I have to be very careful of what I can spend. I made some money, but I can't be just throwing it away. So I appreciate, and obviously I'm paraphrasing, I said, I appreciate the offers. I hope you have a great success, but if you change your mind, please don't hesitate to contact me. I will pay right away, so you do not have to wait or worry if a buyer is going to honor their bid. Well, lo and behold, just when I thought it wasn't going to happen, because I went to check on it later, and it was no longer there on their eBay store. So I'm like, oh, I guess somebody picked it up. I guess, maybe I won't be getting that one. But in my mind, I still kept looking at him. I'm still saying to myself, I'm going to end up getting this book somehow. And lo and behold, the person just took it off so they can relist it at the price that I was willing to get it for, and said, if you pay for it right now, I will honor the price. And that's exactly what I did. So I was able to acquire approximately a 2.0. Now, who knows if it's restored or anything like that, because it's not graded. I have a pretty decent track record, except for like Golden Age books where there's restoration. But they honored my price of $900. So with the 17 and change shipping and handling cost and the taxes, it came out to $963. Which I think, for Brave and the Bold 28, complete, staples intact. I think they said the centerfold is detached. I can live with that. That still would get you it can get between a 2 and a 3 with the centerfold detached. As a matter of fact, with centerfold detached, I think you can get even a higher grade, because I know I have a Golden Age book with a centerfold detached that's a 4. So I would still say this is about between a 2 and a 3 range. Probably more realistically between a 2 and a 2.5. It could hit a 3 with pressings and dry cleanings. But even if it was a 2.0, to get this book under $1,000, I think that is the right time to have gotten it. And the week before that, I didn't have the money. I didn't see that book. It wasn't available at that point. So you never know when all of a sudden an opportunity will arise out of nowhere. When I got the call a day or two before New Year's with somebody I haven't seen in probably 3 or 4 months, who went to my karaoke gigs and just happened to have one of my business cards, called me and asked me if I would be willing to DJ a party on New Year's Eve, and made some money. Now, obviously not enough to retire or anything, but this is the big book. But I still have 2 other, I would say, I can't call them grails, but they are definitely, I would say, Mega Key Silver Age comics on their way. I think both of them might be later on today. But this is what I want to try and inspire people with. And right now, 20 people are watching, and 9 of you hit the like button. So almost half of you have hit the like button. I want you guys and girls out there to not be afraid to take chances, and also not be afraid to walk away from a situation where you don't feel the price is what you're willing to be able to pay. Because I'm going to show you in the next day or two 2 more examples of books and a group of books that I won, where one of them, they flat out said, I can't go that low, and they said they have other buyers that are offering more. And instead of being a jerk, instead of being rude, or instead of just ignoring it or not replying, one of them, for example, the bundle of comics that I won that should be here on Monday, they said they had other people making offers higher. And I said, well, if you can get higher than what I'm willing to pay, I wish you the best, and I hope you could sell it for as much as you can. But if it doesn't go through, please consider my offer. And you know what? I ended the conversation, and I ended up later on that night, they accepted my initial offer without asking for a dime more. You have to be not afraid to walk away from a deal until you are 100% comfortable. And you have to not be afraid to ask for deals. The worst that somebody can say is no. So don't just wait for a newly listed with a best offer. Contact somebody. You never know why they're selling. What if this book was given to them? Maybe they lost a relative or something, or maybe they found it in the attic, or maybe they went to a yard sale and got it at somebody selling it for $1. You never know how much money somebody could be making on something that you think, oh, they're practically giving it away. Because if you were just moved into a new house and you were cleaning the upstairs attic because the previous owners left a whole bunch of stuff in there, and you found that comic for free, let's say the book's worth $1,500. If you ended up selling it for $900, well, you just made $900. So don't always assume that the people that are watching mine and other channels who are, I would say, pretty knowledgeable about comics, because there's many times in the chats where people will post things that I don't know about, or I might have had to have been corrected on, or need a fill-in-the-blank kind of scenario. Don't always assume that the people selling know what they're selling or care about selling or the reasons why they're selling. And I'm trying to teach people to never be afraid to message somebody, and always be kind and be real. Don't make it fake. I mean, I'm not trying to fluff anybody's feathers or anything. I was very polite, very respectful, but very friendly. And I would always leave the door open, saying, I wish you success with your sale. I appreciate the offers. I can only go this high. I can guarantee you that if you do change your mind, I will pay right away, so there's no wondering if somebody's going to honor their bid. So if you reconsider at any point, please don't hesitate to message me. Good luck with your sale. Have a great day. Have a great New Year's, etc., etc., etc. And I've gotten 4 comics. 3 still on their way. One's a bundle of comics, because I put in the effort. This is why I say take advantage of things like PayPal credit. Be confident in your ability. Make sure you know what you are spending your money on. Is it worth it? Because somebody else might have seen that book and not knew that it was the first appearance of the Justice League of America. Or they might not have trusted the seller, or they were afraid to take a chance. I'm never, in life, never let fear occupy any of your time. Fear is a distraction. Fear is a learned entity. It is not something that you are born with. If you, and I don't recommend anybody do this, if you had a newborn baby, you could put it in a pool with tarantulas, and they would probably be giggling and laughing at how fluffy they feel. There is no fear in us. We are taught fear. because fear makes you second guess your instinct. And that is why most people will always fail. And I'm trying to set examples that even when I lost my job in October, I have not had a job since, I was never sitting there panicking. You didn't see me making videos saying, woe is me, my life is falling apart, and I'm going to shoot myself in the head, and there's no chance. No, I kept positive. I don't have some secret bank account with millions of dollars in it. I don't have a trust fund. But I don't let fear occupy my time, because I know that fear is a choice, and fear will always hold you back. Even when the person said they were not going to do this deal because they wanted to think about it, I still knew in my mind I was going to get that book. I wasn't going to do it dishonestly. I wasn't going to threaten the person, because how is that going to work out? I was going to be respectful, give them the option, say, I'm looking forward to doing business with you. Like when I always make an offer with somebody, I don't assume that they're not going to respond. I'll say, would you be willing to take such and such price? I look forward to doing business with you. In other words, that's already put it in the mind that the transaction just is waiting for their side to approve it. Like I've already concluded in my mind that it's going to happen. Now, there are some times that the prices will go back and forth, because like I said, I initially asked them if they'd take $750. Which they did not. Excuse me. But I am more than happy with the $900. And then after eBay taxes and shipping, it came out to $963. So under $1,000 for a Grail DC book, which who knows what's going to happen when they restart and reboot the DC universe. Maybe by that point, all of the garbage woke stuff that they're promoting will have reached its course, and they start going back to what the fans want overall. Maybe by that point they will have a Justice League movie that everybody loves. But even regardless of that, books like this do not need a movie to have value. A good movie will increase the amount of people into recognizing the value. A bad movie will temporarily bring the price down from people in the market who do not know what they're doing, base things only on what someone else says, and bases it on emotion and short-term thinking, instead of people like me and many others who will grab these opportunities in a heartbeat. Knowledge is power. Fear is a distraction. And trust me, my life is not a bed of roses. I am actually right now recovering from a slight case of food poisoning from food I ate last night. I'm trying to teach people there are better ways, but you have to put in the effort. If you have doubt, you're not going to put in the effort. Nobody wins a race that doubts they can ever win. The ones that win, yes, you do need some luck, but you need skill, but you definitely need effort, repetition, and the ability to get up and do what most people will refuse to do because it's too difficult. Those that are on the top are there not by chance, even though that can have a small factor into it. So when it comes to collecting, notice how I said earlier I'm willing to possibly sell a couple of my Bitcoins. And like I said, I don't even have a full Bitcoin. I have about 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Years ago, when they were worth about $20, I had 7 full Bitcoins. If only I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have sold them years ago when they reached 100. But hindsight is always 20/20. But because I didn't do the proper research on those things, I did not succeed. I would take the chance. When you roll the dice, sometimes the number you're looking for comes up. I would rather have more of a say in what I do. If I was going to a casino, I wouldn't have a roll of a dice determine what I win and don't win. I want to play games like blackjack, where I have more say in the involvement and not just rolling the dice and hoping something comes up. I know when to stay, when to hit, when to split, when to double down, when to surrender. Knowledge is power. And letting go of the fear of knowing that even if I did not get that comic, another one will come right away. And what a surprise. In all of 2023, if you saw the video I did at the end of last year, I did my top 12 books that I acquired in 2023. You know why I did top 12? Because those were pretty much, except for the newsstand variant Mark Jewelers packet I bought, and maybe 3 other comics, that's all I had for the entire year. I already have, well, because the other books I showed the other day, I bought, right around Christmas Eve, the Bone comics. But I already have 1, 2, 3 comics coming either today or Monday, and then a box of like about 30 or 40 comics coming on Monday. Which, if you add the 40 comics, which there's a few of them that are good comics, but I bought it because of the price I could get for it. Because it's not all dollar comics or anything like that. I pretty much got more comics in the first week of this year than I did the entire year 2023. Now, will I be able to top my Hulk 1 that I got last year? Who knows? I mean, I would have to get another job or win the lottery. But the thing is, something can always come up. Most people think of the glass as half empty, instead of realizing it is also half full. It is your choice to decide which way you want to think. So I would love to hear what you have to think. Would you have paid for this? If you saw that auction that did not have a best offer, would you have contacted the person? Did you even know that's something that you could do? These are the things I want to talk about on my channel that many people will not. And you notice, even bigger channels, they rarely will ever tell you the price that they paid. They'll always say, oh, I got a good deal. Well, what does a good deal mean? You save $5 over what people are paying? You bought it for $1? I tell specifics because I want people to know what I'm paying for key books, so you can probably say, all right, I want to go around that area, and because I believe Chris knows what he's talking about, I now know what I should expect. But always keep in mind, when I buy key books, I tend to get them at the low end of what most people are paying for on eBay. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody can't get it cheaper at a yard sale or at a flea market or at a pawn shop. But as far as eBay's concerned, the prices I pay, go look up. I paid less for this book than what somebody paid for a .5. It was graded, but it was a .5 book. I think it sold for like $1,200, $1,300. Now, of course, I have to get this graded, but you guys know I have 4 books that I send every month to PGX. Guess what book is going to be in that next batch of 4? So make the effort, know what you're talking about, have the confidence to not be afraid to communicate with somebody. Communicate with somebody the way you would like to be communicated with, and never be afraid to pass up on something. Like I said, 2 of the 3 books that I am getting, they said no. One said they got better deal offers, and they still agreed to mine. Which means either 1, the person backed out of the deal, or 2, there never was one, and they were trying to trick me thinking that I'll use emotion and say, oh, I'll spend more money. Nope. I will walk away from any book. Even you guys know I would love and never have owned an Amazing Fantasy 15. But if I have $5,000 and there's a 0.5 that somebody's selling for $5,000, I'm not spending $8,000 on that book. I don't care. Even if I had the $8,000, excuse me, if the 0.5, let's just say argument's sake, was worth $5,000, and somebody had a buy it now 0.5 for $8,000, and let's just say I had the $8,000, I would pass up on it, even though it's a book I would absolutely love to have, because I'm not going to spend $3,000 more than what it's worth or what I'm willing to pay, regardless of if I wanted it or not. And I see people all the time on so many different channels that they base things so much on emotion that they are willing to overspend just to say they acquired something. And that's why when I go on eBay, I don't type in Brave and the Bold 28. I type in the word comics. I type in the word newly listed. I hit the button that says buy it now. And I put a price range so I'm not seeing a $25,000 book and I'm not seeing a $2 book. I put a certain price range. And every 10 seconds, I will refresh it. And if I see something come up that I want, I will pounce. If it is what I'm willing to pay for. And if it's something like this situation that does not have a best now opportunity, I will create one. Because there are many times where they won't respond or they'll say no. But there are other times where they'll make counter offers or even flat out accept what I was willing to pay for the book. It's called making an initiative. So I use my usual rants. Some people appreciate that. Right now, 16 people are still listening to me rant, which means those people either are bored out of their minds or just really appreciate my advice. If my advice helps or inspires you, let me know in the comment section when this video uploads. Tell me why. What is it that my channel is different and separates myself from other channels? Now, that doesn't mean bash anybody, because everybody has their own way of thinking. So as long as they're not hurting somebody or cheating somebody, excuse me, everybody has the right to their opinion. But what is it about my channel that makes you want to listen to sometimes what could be 35, 40-minute rants? I'd love to hear your opinions on that. So please leave a comment. I'd love to read them. Let me know what you thought. And don't forget, guys, if you look at the description of this video and any video, you will see if you want to join my Patreon and help sponsor me getting comics and keeping this channel alive. It is absolutely appreciated. I don't have any other videos there because I do not believe in anyone having to pay extra to see something of mine. I give all of my advice freely. And to me, it's not about money. It's about helping people, because if I succeed and I help you succeed, that puts positivity in the world. Nowadays, that seems to be a rare commodity, positivity. It seems nowadays, anywhere on YouTube or anywhere in life, people just got to get theirs, and they don't care whose mother or grandmother they have to trample over to get it. That's just not me. So thanks for watching. I'll have most likely another video tomorrow if the other book comes later on tonight or comes early enough tomorrow. The other one on possibly Monday, again, if it gets delivered on time. And I'll share the stories for those too, and keep hopefully inspiring you to never give up. Let go of the fear. Realize, because you need real eyes to realize, that fear is a choice and it is a learned experience, which means, like Yoda once said to Luke, you must unlearn what you have learned. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. If you understand what they truly meant by that, you have the secrets to the universe, and see, it's not just a line in a movie. Whoever wrote that line, whether it's George Lucas or someone else, knew more to life than just how to say a nice catchphrase in a movie. So let's pick today's surprise subscriber shout out. We don't have a lot of people in the live chat, but those that are here are always appreciated. So this is what I'm going to do. Everybody that's in the live chat right now is going to get the surprise subscriber shout out. So GT Key Comic, one of my moderators, always here, always one of the first people to comment. Welcome. Agu Rhythm is here. John Rowe is here. And that's it. So you guys are today's, or girls, I don't want to assume, that you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. Since you've all been here before, you know what to do. So if you want to post a link to either the social network or to one of your YouTube channel videos or to something you sell, by all means, please do. I always have to approve every link that comes, so it will not show up until I approve it. So if you are somebody that's browsing through the comment section and you see a link, that means it has been approved. It will not take you anywhere inappropriate. So go support our fellow YouTubers and let's spread some positivity. In my opinion, 2024 is going to be like the title of a very famous book. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. If you view, I really think 2024, in my humble opinion, is going to be the worst of times and could be the best of times, depending on which route you choose to follow. In other words, it could be your worst nightmare, if you want to believe it to be that, or it could be the reason that you are inspired to greatness. I think this is either going to be where it's an enslavement of humanity or it's an awakening of humanity. I really believe in my heart that this year is going to be that. And it's going to be a matter of choice. And remember, I've had other videos where darkness will always... Excuse me. My wife is sick, so I think I might be getting her cold. Darkness, you can have a room completely engulfed in darkness. But it only takes one match to light up that room. So it doesn't matter how many millions of bad guys and, bad seeds are out there. If the few know in their hearts that they are righteous and they do not live their life in fear, it only takes a few to create what seems like a bomb about to explode into somebody finding the right wire and cutting it with 2 seconds left on the timer. Free will gives you the choice. And I'm going to leave on this positive note. People used to say throughout history, and I'm sure you've heard this before, the biggest trick the devil ever made was making you believe he does not exist. I'm going to tell you what it really should be. The biggest trick the devil ever tricked mankind to believe is that he has the power over you to give you anything. You are Dorothy. You have the power to go home all along. You just need heart, bravery, and a little bit of brain power. You have to walk the golden path to find out that the monster at the end, the Wizard of Oz, was nothing more than a man behind the curtain using fear to get people to do their bidding by believing, because the word lie is right in the middle of the word believe, that he had the power to bring Dorothy home. This year, in my opinion, will be a very great awakening. There's a lot of truth coming out. And you cannot have that happen until you squeeze all of the negativity out of the way. But it's your choice. It's your experience. Remember, you can choose to do the right thing, the wrong thing, or nothing. But there will always be consequences for each. And every single one of them is an experience. You get to choose which experience you would like to manifest at this point. Including thinking everything I've just said is the most batshit crazy thing you've ever heard. You have the freedom and the right to choose to believe that, and that will be your experience. Probably will have a very horrible year this year. And I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Once you realize, like movies like The Labyrinth, if you haven't watched The Labyrinth with David Bowie, once you realize that how he got defeated at the end of the movie, he wasn't stabbed, he wasn't thrown in jail, he wasn't blown up, he wasn't shot, he wasn't banished, he wasn't harmed. She turned around and realized her true power, looked him in the eyes, and said, "You have no power over me." That was her Dorothy click the heels 3 times moment. You can have that if you choose, or you can choose to be scared to death and wonder why you died. And I think that's why some people appreciate my channel, because I would love for anyone to name one comic book channel out there, big or small, that will not only share freely the knowledge of how to invest in comics, but give you a lesson in life that could maybe change maybe one or two people's life in a more positive direction. I'd love to hear it. And I think that's why 16 people have liked and 16 people are watching. The ones that left is what it is. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thank you for your likes. I love to hear your comments. Let me know what you think about my AI art. And again, if you're looking to do any trades, please contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. You will see on the bottom of the screen all of the books that I'm looking to acquire. I'd love to have one before this year ends, but that'll be reliant on either you or maybe somebody you know. Thanks for watching. And if you want to order any of my mystery boxes, I just put the link in the live chat. It will also be in the description. Have a great day, and don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics.